It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's Fast Car TV time. Woohoo! So last week, we had Elliot from Performance VW in. This week, we've got Elizabeth from Performance BMW in. And BMWs are better than VWs, aren't they? I think so, but don't tell anyone. Let's go. So here we are, back on the sofas, and this week we've got Elizabeth from Performance BMW magazine in. So, Elizabeth, take us back to the start. How did you get into magazines? Did you go straight into editor, or were you other magazines first?
Straight out of uni, I got into BMW Car magazine,
right,
which is our sister title, our more grown-up, sensible magazine. And I was on that for about 9 years.
Right.
And then moved across to take over as editor on PBM. And that's it. Yeah. So pretty much throughout that time, it's been BMs. There've been a few weird non-BM cars that have crept in from time to time, but there's always been at least one BM kind of on the fleet, basically.
What about your first car? What was that?
First car was a 1 litre Citroen Saxo First in Admiral Blue.
Did you get free insurance with it?
Did not get free insurance with it because I was too young.
Bringing you right bang up to date, we're going to have a look at one of your cars later, aren't we? So, what have you got parked in the car park?
My E92 M3. So it's my baby. It's I wanted one since they came out, and so buying it was a pretty big achievement. I've spent so much time driving M3s actually. I think the reason they're so special to me is because throughout my career I've driven so many of them, and I've had some incredibly memorable driving experiences with E92 M3 specifically. And
you've got a wicked E39 as well.
My E39 540, which is full respray in Midnight Purple 1, which is the Skyline colour. It's on air ride. It's got custom 3-piece splits from the States with brushed rose gold centres, custom exhaust, stop take big brake kit, full custom interior from Corbeau. Yeah, it's a bit special. Does like show only. It literally it doesn't go anywhere. It just comes out for shows and that's it, basically.
So there you go. True, like all of us editors, we bang into our cars, obviously, and you have to be. And not a lot you don't know about BMWs, as we're probably going to find out in a few of these episodes.
I mean, I'm as modest, but hopefully I know enough.
Welcome to Product of the Week. And as you can see, we're talking about head units. Oh no. It's an alloy wheel. And this is the Bola B2R, which is a successor to the B2. This one's flow forged, making it really light. So a 17 starts at 7.8 kg, which isn't bad. And they're coming some good widths here. This one's a 18 by 9.5. So that's good. And being a Bola, it's going to fit 99% of the PCDs out there. It starts from 4x98 to 4x114.3, and then 5x98 to 5x120. Got a lovely concave, it's like a 5-spoke, as you can see, and well, it's just quite aggressive, nice. Look good on a Focus RS, something like that. So you want to know the prices, really, don't you? So being a Bola, it's going to be great value. 17 start at, check the notes, 625 quid, and the 18 start at 755 quid. So yeah, it's terrific value. Perfect for your daily drivers out there. Good value, classic 5-spoke with a nice modern design. Can't go far wrong with a Bola B2R. This comes to the segment of the show where we talk about project cars and what you as an expert would buy. In the BMW garage, obviously. So you've got £2 grand. We're going to start right at the bottom. You've got £2,000. What are you going to go for?
Right, let's start with sensible, and then we can move on to really not very sensible at all. If you're being sensible, then I would say you want an E46 because they're one of the cheapest ways to get into a really nice BM. They drive so well, and you can pick up a 6-cylinder for this kind of money. You could stretch a 330 or a 325, but to be honest with you, I think a 320i with a 2.2 would be a good choice if you're being sensible. You can also get an E39. I'm a big E39 fan.
That's what I've written down.
You'd be looking at like a 520i or 530d. Again, pretty sensible, good value for money.
So if you're not being sensible then?
Two choices that I don't recommend at all. It's on your head.
So you don't recommend, but you do recommend?
Kind of, sort of, yes, but also no. E38 728i, which looks great, but they do have quite a lot of problems, and it's realistically probably going to be quite expensive to look after. And the other one is the X5, because despite you know, being solidly built to a degree, they also have a lot of problems and a lot of bits go wrong. And yeah, I would be very cautious about buying either of those.
£2,000 BMW E39. Don't know what one.
530D is good because it's quick and you can do some mods to it. E39s are kind of okay when it comes to parts and stuff, but there's only so much available. Whereas E46, you're spoiled for choice. So if you're being really sensible, E46, I would say at that price.
E46, great car. I've had a few of them.
Yeah, I had one. I absolutely loved it. One of my favourites for sure.
Got £2,000. Go and buy an E46. So we've talked a lot about project cars, and this week Elizabeth has actually brought down one of hers, which is an E92 M3. I had a 335i E92, so obviously the one down because I couldn't afford an M3. Just going to let Elizabeth talk around the car, what she's done to it, any future plans, and yeah, there we go.
Hi. So it's a 2009 E92 M3 edition. So the edition was made for 6 months in 2009. It's a limited edition one. They all came with, well, they call it, I think BMW calls it black chrome, grills, bonnet vents, side vents. Yours had black exhaust tips, black mirror caps. It sits 10mm lower than stock because it's on the competition pack springs. And then inside it's got contrast stitching in blue on this and a few other bits and pieces. And yeah, it's finished in Monte Carlo blue, which is my favourite M3 colour. And it's, yeah, not stock at all. So I've got some carbon bits and pieces because obviously you've got the carbon roof at standard, so I was like, I want to throw some carbon at it. Got the carbon front splitter, which is quite small, but then I wanted this one because at the minute this is kind of my daily. So I wanted a splitter that's not going to catch everywhere. It still does anyway, but carbon mirror caps on it. And then at the back, got carbon spoiler and a carbon diffuser. Got a set of Ep6 SM10 19s in gloss anthracite, which I absolutely love. And I went for the most aggressive offset on these. So they fit pretty flush without any spaces, which is perfect. But the exciting bit is under the bonnet. So let me just pop that. So this is, okay. It says G-Power, the company's kind of changed its name now, it's called Infinitas, but basically this is a G-Power SK2S supercharger kit, rated at 610 horsepower. So here's the techie science bit. Basically, stock, this the S65 V8 is meant to make 420 horsepower, but they never actually do. They always make slightly less. So my one with a primary decat made 386, which is kind of about right. So the 610 figure is based on you starting from 420 horsepower, because obviously they have to go with BM's official figure. So it's basically should give you 190 horsepower gain over stock. My one made 582.5 horsepower, so it's actually 196 gain, so it's making more than it should do. It's got obviously the ASA supercharger. It runs a clutch, so below about 1500 RPM it's not engaged, which is good because it makes it a bit quieter, and not that anyone really cares about fuel economy, but when you're just kind of pootling around, it means the supercharger's not running all the time. It's got a front mount intercooler setup, so air gets sucked up into here, the intake is under there. What's nice is that with the centrifugal supercharger, the power delivery is very linear, so it doesn't feel like a positive displacement kit. So you still have to rev it out to get full power from it, basically. You still have to rev it to over 8 grand. But there's so much more mid-range. It makes so much more torque in the mid-range, and there's just so much more power at every point. It absolutely flies. So yeah, I can't, I love it so much, I love it.
One of the biggest questions we always get asked, isn't it, is like, what's your favourite feature car of all time? So, have you narrowed it down?
Yeah, I've got a few here that I kind of went through.
Blimey, we haven't got all day.
All right, I guess I can
Can you get it down to about 3?
I could probably do. Let me quickly whiz through a couple that just deserve a quick mention. Twin supercharged V10 1 Series. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
3-door E30 touring conversion running an M60 V8. And then this wide body turbocharged CSR.
I remember that one.
Awesome. So I've chosen 3 really weird ones, which are really kind of offbeat and a bit left field. So there's this one from Australia, which is 7-litre supercharged V8 E46 M3, and I love this one because I think this one is built for summer naps. which is like it's a massive Australian kind of V8 drift festival, basically. So he does actually he can run that without the supercharger, and he takes the supercharger off when he's actually driving on the road.
Oh,
and then for the shows, yeah, because if I show you the poster, it pretty much it just kind of sticks up past the roofline, basically. I love cars that kind of mess with the scene and mess with people's heads.
Yeah, no,
because I like originality, but at the same time, I like it when people do stuff that's wild and they don't really care and they just do whatever they want to do. So next up, we've got this 2002 rat rod, and this is running a S14 from an E30 M3, and he's also stuck a blower on it. You'll see a theme here with superchargers because I like superchargers.
Well, who doesn't?
Exactly. The thing is that, the rest of the car is so ratty, it's going to upset a lot of people, which makes me like it even more. And then sticking a massive blower in an S14 is not what you do. So that's another reason that's one of my favourites. And the last one, so funny story, I'm into really random motorsport that no one else enjoys. So I decided to go to Holland to watch some tractor pulling.
Right.
Because I love a sport where you've got like 10,000 horsepower put into going really slowly and making a lot of noise. Any motorsport where you've got like 4 or 5 V8s on one machine at once, that's my kind of motorsport. And I saw this and I was like, I want this in the magazine. So it's an E21 tractor puller, basically, running 2,000 horsepower. So I saw this run. And it was so mental. It's running an 8.8 litre Ford V8. So that's
one for the purists, that.
Absolutely. So I do want to reiterate, I do really like pure original BMs as well. But these, when you said to me, what are your like favourites that really stick out in your mind? These were the ones that I remembered instantly, and I was like, they're just such standout cars for various reasons. So I think, it's good to have stuff that appeals to everyone. It's good to have stuff that appeals to some people. And then it's good to have stuff that's just completely off the wall, but that people won't have maybe seen before anywhere. Because if you're not into tractor pulling, you've never have seen the C21. No. Apart from, until it appeared in the mag. So I'd like to think I'm performing a public service.
There you go. Well, thank you. That's been interesting. I'd like to invite you back again sometime, if that's all right.
I'd love to be back.
Discuss more project cars, more bad advice on cars not to buy, but you should buy, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's another episode of Fast Car TV done. So thanks to Elizabeth, and we'll see you again next week.